can't believe we're doing this.
Yay!
The only other thing is I have the...
We've started recording, right?
We have, but
Excellent.
I'll be like cutting it up if we need to and whatnot.
But maybe we look fabulous already.
Yes, exactly. But the main thing I want to just mention is it's really tempting to look at yourself in the...
I have no intention of looking at myself. I'm gonna look right at you.
Perfect.
So the reason I wanted to talk to you today is because you are heavily extroverted.
Yes.
And I'm heavily introverted. And so extroverts fascinate me because I don't understand where they get their energy. So you're a product designer. Why don't you start by telling me how you came upon being a product designer?
Yes, so I became a product designer when I moved to San Francisco. Prior to that, I was living in Wisconsin. I originally went to college to play basketball. That was like where my heart was set. It was like, I'm playing basketball, that's what I do. I went out there, didn't work out. I was living in a small town in northern Wisconsin, which was just not the right place for me. And so I wanted to reset my life. My dad lived out here in San Francisco. He was like, Alexa, if you want to be a designer, you should go to design school. I found one out here in San Francisco, and then I made the move, and then I came out here.
Lucky for us.
Yes, it was life-changing moving out here. So in the second semester of the design school I went to, I was in an intro level UX course, and it was the 4th class of the day. So the class was like 7 to 10 p.m.
So it stands to reason that you would be like exhausted going to that class.
Yeah, you would think. The studio classes are all 3 hours. This one was also 3 hours, but in the evening. But I went into that class, and just about every time I would leave full of energy. And it was like one of the, I think, second moments in my life that I really realized, wow, this is something I want to do. And it was an energetic feeling.
So lesson 1 is, when you feel full of energy, you're going in the right direction.
Yes, absolutely. And it wasn't even something I think I thought much about until later in my life, because it was just this feeling. It's like, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is like the feeling I want to feel every day.
Yeah, so what else charges you?
Definitely other people.
I don't know what that's like.
Yeah, as an introvert, what would you say charges you?
So I live in a constant state of tension because I'm very social, but I'm also very introverted. So people both make me feel overstimulated, not necessarily in a good way, like exhausted. So I really need time to myself if I have any intention of recharging.
Absolutely. And honestly, that's, I feel that as well. Like if I'm out with people a lot, I like to have my own personal time to like self-reflect and just be in my own energy. But I know like when I wake up in the morning, it's like, I want to go out into the world and find people to be with.
When I wake up in the morning, I want to sit behind my computer and be left alone.
Yeah.
So what depletes you?
So I've also been thinking about this for a little bit, and I think my answer would be physical energy. Like I need to exert a lot of physical energy to feel physically depleted. Yeah.
I'm very, very depleted by other people, but also by noise. So if I want to be at my best and I want to be in a place where I can give energy to other people, I need to find a way to find quiet spaces.
Yeah.
You wouldn't catch me in a concert.
Oh, interesting.
I can't handle a lot of noise.
Yeah.
Tell me why you use social media.
I use social media for 2 reasons. The first reason is because to me, social media is kind of like journaling. I like posting about my day. I post a lot on Instagram stories. That's one of my favorite products, I guess. I like posting on Instagram stories because it's a way for me to sort of make sense of my world and tell stories. And I really, really enjoy it for that reason. However,
so it's almost like a tool for self-reflection.
It is. I see it that way.
That's quite ironic.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah, because it's social media was originally intended to connect you to others.
Right. Well, okay. So this like very personal aspect of social media is something I've come to understand about why I use it. However, the reason why social media was created is ultimately one of the main reasons why I do love it as well, because it's a way for me to share my stories with other people, and in turn, people like are responding back to them and say it's like a way to start a conversation. And because other people like what I'm making is resonating with them, it makes me feel even better.
It makes you feel connected.
It does, yeah.
It's funny because we use social media in almost the same way, but for opposite reasons. So I love social media because I think that the essence of life is in connection. I think connection is the meaning of life. But conversely, connecting with other people exhausts me. So social media lets me connect with other people without their physical presence,
Right.
which basically means that I can handle more connection without getting exhausted.
That's amazing. Yeah, I love it.
So what would you say, what tip would you give to someone who is looking to modulate their energy so that they don't find themselves in a place where they're like, I'm exhausted, I'm not giving the best of myself? Like how did you find that?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately it just comes from a lot of practice, kind of going out into the world and figuring out what works best for you.
Or realizing what doesn't work best for you.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's going to like not be fun at first. And ultimately what you have to do is like go out, figure it out, reflect. And then when you realize those moments that you do feel the most energized, whether it be with other people or...
You're like, more of that.
Yes, just follow that feeling. And that's how you'll ultimately get to where you need to be.
Yeah, and I think the catch is that that can change too. You're like, I used to follow this feeling, but now I'm not getting the same energy from it that I used to. So I think that this is part of the reason why this is so hard, is because you have to accept the fact that you're constantly changing. So with that, thank you so much for looking at us.
That's it.
Ta-da!
That was great.
Let's look at it.
Yeah. Let's see. So I can play.